All right, all right, all right. How's everybody doing? Peace and long life, right? This is Mr. Ed with the Constant Companion Theory at Tridactyls, here from our Naga temple in South Florida. Man, what is going on in the world? We still have those strange tridactyl fauna to talk about. I haven't investigated them. You know what my litmus test is going to be is whether there's larvae in them or not. That's my test. I'm on that quest still, trying to find the best images of the larva. I know not everyone likes some of the images I have out there, but I'm trying. You know, I've got some good feedback from Grok, where Grok was like, oh, wait a minute. What is that I'm seeing? You know, the skulls, I put it on the settings so the skulls and the bones, the high density stuff is reflective, right? And so any soft tissue comes out, these gray masses. And of course, I always have the scans up. But we're gonna invite my what would you call him? My sidekick. My sidekick, Fat Jesus, here in a second. And after that, after we talk to Mr. Jesus, come to Jesus moment, we're going to talk to Stig Hansen, Atlantean adventurer. And he's been to the Eye of the Sahara several times. Oh, look, we got chats coming in. Let's see what's our chat saying. We got Mark coming all the way from Boca, right, Mark? Tell us about Boca Raton, Mark. Awesome. I'm glad everybody's here. I don't have a lot planned because I have my guest speaker. I do want to talk to you guys about, you know, I feel like there's this group that's a bit disingenuous in the way they debate. Immediately ad hominem, immediately accusations of mutilation. You know, we've had several experts. We've had the lead forensic officer of the Mexican Navy. We've had the Grawal laureate, am I saying that correctly? McDowell suggesting that these beings are not manipulated. And I think an important witness in all this is the plastic surgeon. Yeah, plastic surgeon. He seems to be a good witness to all this. He's not seeing any manipulation. But now what do we do in this case if we have people saying that it was manipulated and others that weren't? Of course, the people that are saying that weren't didn't research them hands-on. I haven't researched them hands-on. What am I going to do with them? Take a selfie? What I would like to do is perhaps take a very powerful microscope and look at the skin, because I believe you can actually see the larva in the skin. You know, just real quick. Who is this? This is Montserrat. If we switch her over to that soft tissue setting I was talking about, just so you can know, and if we can turn off the merry-go-rounds before we all get nauseous, and let's just see if just what I'm talking about is so. If we can just simply remove some outer layers, and will we see something that I suggest could be, of course, it's super hard for me to see. But as we just go in, you can start to see there is soft tissue, which of course could just be skin and muscle and all those sort of things, right? But the way I have this setting is that it's taking the slices in very tiny millimeter, like 3/4 of a millimeter setting. Okay, so as you see, it's at the very least, people should say, oh, well, that's at least strange, right? What is that? But these sort of forms, and I wish I could turn it. Of course, it always looks worse on the screen. Is this, to me, likely a sideways tridactyl head? I don't know for sure. I don't want to guide you in the wrong direction, but this is where I begin. We start to remove the layers. We look for soft tissue, and I look for forms that, and it looks a little serpentine there. I look for forms that are in other bodies and in other places. They're not just in one. If it was in one section, maybe we could say, oh, it's just organs, nerves, or what have you. But there is a lot going on in these that I think deserves further inspection. Let's go ahead and bring on our, that's like right there. What is that? Let's go ahead and bring our friend on, Mr. Fat Jesus, and let's get an update from him. I haven't talked to him in a while. And then about less than 10 minutes here, we're going to have Stig Hansen, adventurer at large. All right. Boom. Let's get this.
What's up, everybody? This is Fat Jesus Live. What's going on?
How are you?
All right. What's going on with everybody? Oh, my gosh. Check it out. Look at you with your new look.
How's this? What are you talking about? What new look?
Look at that. You shortened up the beard and everything, huh?
I know.
I
mean, someone said I am like the anti-Samson. Or like, Samson, you cut his hair and he like loses strength.
Oh no,
it's weird.
You never lose strength. You're super.
No, powerful, I'm anti-Samson.
Oh,
it's the opposite.
Yeah.
So when I cut my hair, all of a sudden I'm like streamline. I'm doing stuff. It's weird.
I was just writing about you just now in Facebook because I'm watching your stream as well. But I have to say,
yeah,
none of us know what we're looking at because you're the expert. We trust you with everything that you say because you have the experience, the years and years of experience. You have the education, and people, please understand that Professor Ed Casas is just here to teach us, to show us the way, because now it's over 120 specimen. Before it was just 30 specimen. Now it's 120.
Where'd you get that number?
We were talking. I
haven't heard.
No.
Well, Terry says Talija means says there might be hundreds or there might be thousands.
No. He brought it up. He was over in Peru. And they said they have dug up. They dug up 120.
Yeah.
Now it's not perfect, like head to toe specimen. They have found limbs. They have found they're not connected to the same specimen, but they're parts and pieces of the specimens, meaning that they've gone into the black market, like they've been shipped out, but parts of it have been given to the university and stuff like that, meaning that there's way more of them. It's not just 30 that they just found, and that's it. There's thousands. I'm telling you, we predicted this. You and I, we predicted this. We're going to find thousands and thousands of these bodies underground in Nazca, Peru.
Yeah, maybe there's that citadel or there's an underground civilization. So let me ask you though, what else have you been whether it's Tridactyls or something else, I know didn't you attempt the what is it called, the contact? Did you attempt the contact?
Oh my gosh, you're bringing
civilizations.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if we talked about that. That's why my memory's a little foggy. Again, now that I cut my hair, my brain's coming back.
Some of you know that I am a UFO hunter. And I like hunting down UFOs on my stream. And I'm sorry for advertising, but the thing is that that is something new that I took on for myself. And ever since I've been part of Tridactyls, I've been into the whole anthropology ecosystem where we need to find out where they're from. Are they still here? Why they keep coming? Are they connected? Are they the same? Or are they extinct? We're asking all these questions and I want to answer them. So we were out there and you were out in your balcony and you saw a UFO. You said yourself you saw.
I want to check the map. I do want to check the map and see if it was the direction of the airport.
No, not the airport. There's a mountain right there. It's called Camelback Mountain, right next to where our hotel is. And
I did see like this dark descending object.
That's why I was looking at your. You invited me over to where your hotel room is, and I knew what side your hotel room was. So I checked Google Maps, and then I looked from there. I'm like, what mountains was he looking at?
Was it?
And then I was looking out. And it's like, that's Camelback Mountain. So I looked all over Google Earth. I actually pulled up Google Earth, started looking at the terrain. I put up the 3D map and I looked, where the hell is this thing going to land? Is it invisible?
And didn't you meet a girl that night who said she was like an alien or something?
So that same night, like, you know how people are unusual to these events, right? Some people are just, I think they smoke way too much weed or something like that. And, but
it's a very green state, Arizona.
Yeah.
Very green.
And you have indigenous people, so you have complete respect for their culture, to talk about the ant people and stuff like that. That you're going to be experiencing all that when you go to these events.
That was a great conversation we had with the elder about the ant people.
Out of the norm, this girl comes out of nowhere and she's completely different from everyone else. I don't know. Maybe she's not a girl. Maybe she's a hybrid. I don't know. But she just came out of nowhere. And I started asking her questions. The military side of me kicks in every single time, because already I have red flags shooting in the back of my subconscious going, beep, 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 beep. I was like, what is up with her? So she's here. She doesn't have a badge. She doesn't have an official badge. I have a VIP badge. You have a VIP badge, and she says she's here to see Billy Carson. That's really important for her to go meet Billy
Carson, who's kind of like Dr. Martin Luther von Däniken.
Yeah. He's a very interesting human being.
I was a little skeptical of him, but he really hit it out of the park with that closing speech. And I thought it was a nice balance of imagination and science. And I think that's what most people want. I think a lot of people want the freedom to be able to imagine different possibilities. They want the freedom to speculate. People want to be able to guess and add their own hypotheses to things. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you can balance that with science, which I try to do, that's kind of what I try to do. I try to say, look, this is what I found, not what I'm speculating on. It's what I've found, and this is my interpretation,
Well, like anthropologists,
our next guest, we got 2 minutes till our next guest comes on.
So like anthropologists, we always try to look for the cultural side of everything, and we communicate with
you're a xenoanthropologist now.
Yeah. And we're trying to figure out how these beings lived and who they were and what they did. So every time we communicate with somebody, we actually interview everybody, and we interview them to the point where they're from, what is their background, how their family raised them, and how they think. And that's how we work. We work and we find out, and we don't have any negative saying to anybody. Everybody is in a positive light when they communicate with us. Even the people that ignore us, they're in a positive light. Even the one person that ignored us is Childress, and he communicated with us, but I have no negative feelings against him. He's a bit.
I was watching Ancient Aliens, and he was on, and I was kind of like,
yeah. But you know what? That's the way he is. His culture and everything like that. We have to accept those things. Some people, not everybody's going to be like us. Professor Ed Casas, they're not going to be like us. They're not going to be open. They're not going to be like, here's all the information. Some of them are going to be very secretive, and they're going to have this whole. They've been part of this whole world of secretive stuff, and they just come from a different background, and we're from a different cloth ourselves. That's why we connect right here. I'm the entertaining, you're the serious guy.
Well, I'm going to put your entertainment on hold while we welcome.
I'm going to miss everybody. Guest. Love y'all. See you soon.
I'm going to bring you back, so don't go anywhere. I'll be bringing you back after we talk to him.
All right.
And of course, if anyone else is listening, I know I've talked to a couple people out there who were interested they had some questions maybe for Stig. So if you want to ask the questions in the chat, that's fine. Or you can I'll send you the link, and maybe if I know you want to come on and either come on the verbal chat or come on. So without any further ado, let's welcome a Atlantean adventurer, I'm calling him. I think that's great. I always come up with the most hyperbolic names, I swear. Let's welcome Stig Hansen. Hello. Boom shakalaka.
Hi.
Look at this guy. How's it going, my brother?
Going pretty good. I want to know how.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much. And I just listened to you talking about the Scottsdale Quest for Ancient History.
Yeah,
we met, right?
Why don't you tell us your? Yeah, that's
by
where
the way,
we met.
David
So why don't
Childress
you
was
tell
standing
us
right next to you when I gave him my book that he and Brian Brian Forster wrote a book, and I got it. And then when I showed up, I had it because I was going to get rid of a bunch of them because I had too many. And David Childress was a co-author, and I had him sign it. And I've actually.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
It was about the elongated skulls. I mean, and you're talking about words like tridactyls. What do you call the species of the elongated skulls in Peru?
Yeah, well, they seem to be tridactyl peripheral. That's they are descendants. That's where I'm coming from. Oh, it's inverted. How do we flip that?
Okay, look, it says I
think that's up to you. You have to.
It says www.youtube.com/@Stig. Oh, you have it too. There you go. Oh, and by the way, while we're showing stuff off, pardon me, I got a cough.
There you go, bro. How you like that?
Thank you very much. I'm a lecturer. I will lecture you. Also, this is my clear COVID test. I just took that the other day. Why? Because I'm died. Okay, first of all, your audience should know that I'm the guy that went to the Eye of Africa 3 times. Okay, I wasn't the first.
Yes,
I wasn't the first YouTuber there. But before I get to that, I need to talk about a previous life. You can check on my channel @Stig. That's my middle name. And this book is not. It's my middle name backwards. Gitz is Stig.
Okay.
By Gitz Ferrari. I know it might be backwards, but usually these things straighten themselves out. Gitz is Stig backwards, and I wrote a book called Not SARS Just Sex about life in Taipei during SARS, not COVID-19, but COVID-02. Oh, there you go. You got it.
Okay.
Perfect.
Flip your camera.
Oh, let's get it all going. Okay, boom, 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 boom. No, I wrote this book.
Promo.
Yeah. Well, I just want to talk about this book because this is my hardcover version. Which look, the rats are even eating it. That's so good.
Wow.
Let me say this: COVID, the Wuhan lab, it's in here also 20 years before COVID-19. What up with that? The whole patient zero in the wet market, same story, except they were saying civet cat. Civet cat was the ground zero animal back then. Now it's the bat. Anyways, that's on Amazon for pretty much free. You can read it if you're a Kindle. You can read it. I just literally saw I had some stolen. My life is weird. I'm going to stop talking so much. I do want to screen share some stuff later maybe, but what up?
You can do that. I think I'd like to go back to let's go back to Quest. So what brought you to Quest for Ancient Civilization?
Free ticket, baby. Okay, cool. I was at Cosmic Summit. I was a speaker at Cosmic Summit. I was invited on 2 panels. The first one was the Explorers Club, and that was with so many people. I'll get into the details later. And the second one was the Atlantis debate. And I have my aspect. Atlantis was the Rashad structure because it's south of the mountains to the north, which are the Atlas Mountains. Plato makes reference to these mountains. And so, but I want to tell you, just because I'm this Rashad, I'm an expert on the Rashad. There was an ancient civilization there. Morocco was Atlantis, and Michael Donnellan wasn't at the Scottsdale. Sorry, I have ADHD too, so I think about something. And
me too.
My brain explodes over here, and then I'm like, maybe I should just take a drink or something and get rid of it.
No, it's exciting.
So Michael Donnellan was at Cosmic Summit, and he was doing a great presentation on stuff he found near Cadiz, Spain. Well, guess what? Sorry, Michael. Cadiz, Spain, that area went to the twin of Atlas. It was Atlantis. He's right. He's not wrong. But Atlantis has been found. Atlantis is not lost. Plato wrote about Atlantis right there. There was a global Atlantis before Plato's version, I believe in my heart. There was a global all over the world, I wouldn't even call it like seafaring. It's not even that. I can show you evidence of ancient mining, ancient terraforming anywhere. You show me the continent, I'll show you the evidence. I'm a Google Earther, so a lot of stuff.
Me too. Yeah. I actually have a little map. I call it my Naga Loka, because I believe the Tridactyl, a good term for them culturally, be the Naga.
Okay, I'm going to show you. And by the way, there's certain musts I must show your audience tonight. And that's why I want to share my screen. But one of them is this ancient. Okay, so if you connect Giza pyramid to Easter Island, it goes right through Peru. I call that the ancient equator. It's a little bit raw, and it's but there's a lot of. I can show you, like Graham Hancock is the one that introduced the idea to me, and his map kind of focuses the whole 360 degrees around the world. And I kind of feel like the connection between the what's after Giza going into the South Pacific, that area is a little jagged, but there's lots of stuff in the straight line. So I call it the ancient equator. So I'm kind of curious where your stuff lies exactly in Peru. I'll show you on my map, and then we'll get back to the point I'm trying to make about that. Is there's, about the Rishat structure where I've been 3 times.
Why don't you take everyone to just I can share if you'd like while you talk about it. Would that be easier for you?
You want to do it? Yeah, I'm looking at, you're showing me a lot. Thank you for that. But yeah, you don't want to show my fat face the whole time. I lost 40 pounds in the last couple years. Something important. Yeah, I think it's really important because beyond, and I'll talk about my Facebook page where you can go and see everything that I've found. I put there with the link to Google Earth. You want to go there? I mean, that's just for the side thing, just so your audience has the actual links. They don't have to mess around. I can go to,
you want to do the, what would you
Let
like
me promote facebook.com/wasthisatlantis. And I think you may have followed it.
I can put that up if
put
you
it
like.
up, because when you scroll down, you'll see all the different images, and it'll go straight to some of my main points that I want to make. There's a couple I just added some new pages there. I'm looking at it right now. It's Was This Atlantis? Facebook.com/wasthisatlantis. And one of the first slides you'll see when it is shown is I found a 50-mile canal going through the lower Adrar Mountains that points right at the mouth of the Rishat structure. And if you say, oh, yeah, that's nothing, take a closer look and see those cut stones. I don't really have it here on my page. I just wanted, you can click the earth.google.com link and go right in there. I actually did that. I wanted there to be a link. It's not exactly it looks at it kind of from an angle. All right, so that's the page. Wow, you're zoomed in. For some reason, you can't really see. Yeah,
I've zoomed in for the
maximize it. Yeah, whatever. Maybe move it over to the right. Move it over to the right. I don't know how the picture is going to show. So this page is important because if I am gone tomorrow, if something happens to me, and no, I did not commit suicide. And look at how few people are looking at this. Only 188 followers. I challenge, where is it here? I challenge your audience to follow it tonight, and let's see how many audience members can make it grow.
Okay, that's a good call. Anybody watching, this would be a fun little experiment. If you're a Facebooker, a face hugger.
Yeah, if you're a Facebooker.
Why don't we give everybody a like, and I'll go ahead and share this. And just, I think this is part of what.
Scroll down a little bit. Let's take a look at a couple of things. Yeah. Scroll down. And by the way, I talked about that just now. Go past that. Let's go to the next one. The next one is what I was talking about earlier. A second circular structure is out there. Yeah, you click on it. You'll go right to the middle of it, and you can navigate your way around it. That's why I want people to know about this page, because they'll find me. I'm not even promoting my YouTube. And if I want to make money, I got to promote that. So you got a lot of stuff. You don't ever go to Google Earth on this device, do you? Just close that.
Yeah, of course I do.
Close that X. And then, close that. And I don't know what the brown thing is, but do you see the circle? And you can zoom in, and you can see that circle has not only a canal going right to the center of it and then turning, it also has ancient ridges, a second set of ridges. That canal that your hand's on right now goes down south for like 10 miles. It is literally a canal cut through so it's not just the Rishat structure that was Atlantis. I believe that the entire Sahara Desert, you see it, and goes right to the middle. Yes, it goes right to the middle. Dismiss that.
Well, I mean, I think Atlantis was a global thing.
For sure, and I don't disagree. But Plato's dismiss that thing.
Right. This is just the European perspective. I think of like
Plato. Call it the Plato, right. And that's the young ones. That's the one, and you can see if you go to the slide,
so far in.
It's very well, but let's talk about something right now. Up above that, back, there you got it. I can't believe you did that just now because I can never get back in there. You can dismiss that other rectangle. Now look at how all that stuff comes in there together in the middle. You've got, oh, now you tried it now. Who knows what's going to happen? You try it. Look at those ridges that come right into the middle along with that canal that just angles out in and comes out. I'm not going to say that's the very center. I'm not going to try to lie to you and tell you that's a perfectly, but it's so close. And that thing, now, wait a minute. Go back to my Was This Atlantis slide. This is the important point to make. I really want to push this point. I discovered it. Yeah, it's the tab to the left. There you go. Right there. Okay, now take a look.
If you can see me, I'm like,
so look,
squinting.
No, trust me, I'm right behind you. Okay, so what I told you earlier about the Giza pyramid connected to the Easter Island, that's that lower red line going through there. However, if you connect that new circle, I don't even have a name for it. I should give it to Lex. Lex is the guy that turned me onto it. The Lex circle. It's if you connect that to the Rashat, right to the center, like you see in the slide, it's exactly parallel to that ancient equator.
Okay.
Now,
and was this due before an axial flip?
Well, obviously, that's the question I have in my mind, and I can talk about ancient axes. This is one of them for sure, right? An ancient equator. And if you look at the map that Graham Hancock put out back a long time ago of that circle, it's in my presentation, and then actually it barely is. Maybe it's not anymore because it's so old. And then you look at the equator, you can just shift it up, so it is just a pivot, and that circle covers the old equator perfectly. So yeah, I call it the ancient equator. That's just another thing. I mean, these are just two items that I want to tell your audience about tonight. Go to the third slide. Go to the third slide. Yeah, that one. And I don't. Yeah, go try the next one and see if you can get it. There's many. Yeah, go down. That right there is very close to the eye of this area. Yeah, enlarge that for your audience. That picture is technically it's in. I think it's technically in Algeria, but there's a Mali, Algeria, and of course Mauritania.
Oh, is this the cross-hatching patterns?
How many parallel sets can you see there? There's more than just two. There's 3 sets of parallel lines on the foundation. I believe it's ancient mining. You're not going to believe this, but I met a guy working in Minnesota. There's a mine
cross-hatching patterns in the ground, right?
Okay, yeah, and since you're in Google now, by the way, dismiss that thing on the top left that says find and manage all your, dismiss that. Yeah, you were right there. Click on that and then dismiss that and dismiss whatever else. And you can get in 3D and back out. That area is only about 1.5 miles going across. Not just that one, but the ones next to it. That's probably about 1/3 of a mile across, that long part. And go back to the north. Yeah, you're looking south. You're actually too far out. There's a lot of stuff right there. Do you see those curved walls?
I forget how to.
Yeah, I know. And then that's even worse. Grab that little compass. Actually, do you have the wheel on your mouse? Just click. Yeah. That's the best way to do it all. Just there you go. And left, right, up, down. There's so much there. Okay. There's so much right there. Okay. Ancient megalithic terraforming.
Okay.
Yeah. Good luck getting back in there. You'll never find it.
Wasn't that just it?
Good luck. I
don't know where I was.
Trust me, I know how to do it.
Just go back to the link.
I got to thank Jimmy Corsetti for basically Jimmy Corsetti pointed that Atlantis was here. I know that other people did it before, but Jimmy Corsetti is the big social media guy. And
So he is one of the first people to put.
He's the first YouTuber. Idea. He's the first YouTuber.
Well, what's the explanation to this very much inland?
Oh, yeah, I didn't get there yet. It's called the Taman Rasset Paleo River. Right where you were, there was a river there, as big as the Nile, as big as the Amazon, coming from the Atlas Mountains. Look up, if you want to keep I'll tell you what to search. You go to Taman Rasset Paleolithic River. And it comes right up
on Google Earth.
It comes up. I did Google search and go to Wikipedia, and you'll see the first. You'll see this very famous picture that's been around for a while that shows it coming right out in Mauritania. Now, my last trip to Mauritania, I was detained. I didn't make it.
Oh, do tell.
Oh, it should be a movie.
So you want me to look up something?
Well,
What is that?
just say Tamanrasset River. Tamanrasset River. Okay, so Tamanrasset is a mountain in the Sahara Desert. There you go. That picture. Click on that thing and make it big, and go over to the area to the left by Morocco. Yeah, that one. That shows the ancient Paleolithic Tamanrasset River. The Eye of Africa was right there next to it, literally like way less than 100 kilometers. And I believe there were canals feeding this whole area. So you can see the Senegal River, but the Tamanrasset came from the Atlas Mountains. We might as well rename it the Atlas River. Okay. I'm serious about that because, yeah, you can see Tamanrasset Mountain, which is on where the M is in the word Tamanrasset right there. Oh, no. Now what are we going to do? I want to acknowledge the chats. I see Fat Jesus Live commented. Thank you. We met, Javier. I met you. I wanted to give you a book, and I forgot to give it to you. I was going to give it to him, and so I never gave it to you.
Which one?
I forgot already. But there was I remember I got all those books.
I ended up with 2 of your books, I think.
Yeah,
so.
And those were mainly Brian Forrester.
2.
Mainly Brian Forrester, but a couple of other books. I was just trying to thin I got too many Brian Forresters in my library. And actually, believe it or not, the Elongated Skulls one that was co-written by Childress, that was I kept that one, but I lent it to a friend of mine because too many people think that head binding is the explanation for elongated skulls, and it's just not true.
Right.
There's
clearly some that has nothing to do with head binding.
Like most of them.
And again, we have specimens like Maria, which resemble the Paracas skulls. And then we have an earlier species that's showing an elongated skull going in this direction. So it goes to say that this earlier species and the human DNA created the elongated skulls.
Okay, maybe one of these elongated skull pictures I shared on my Twitter, which is Stigemup. STIGEMUP.
By the way, you should probably get in touch with Cody.
I know Cody
because Cody's next episode is partially about the Paracas skulls.
Well, I have to be honest, it's really not my specialty. I mean, I know Raul from Pillars of the Past.
I know, but you're certainly talking.
Have you seen Pillars of the Past channel, Raul?
I'm sure I've caught it along the way.
Cosmic Summit. Because of him, I had my free ticket because I donated to his GoFundMe and it gave a free ticket. And I didn't get it at first, but somebody bowed out. And so I ended up getting it.
Oh,
and so the
very nice.
Raul has been running over. And it actually is kind of gross to me. I've been to the killing fields in Cambodia. I've seen those types of bones.
Yeah. Well, that's not
you can
fun.
see bones in the ground. That kind of, I don't want to do that. And he's doing it. He's pulling. He has one elongated skull that part of it was sticking out of the sand and it was all discolored. And then he unburied the rest and it was an elongated skull right there in Peru. You have to know about his work.
Wow.
And he's finding platforms and basically terraforming that's massive. I believe that whole area was.
I believe I met a couple other people, obviously, at such an event. I mean, Atlantis is practically like the home base, if you will, for pseudo archaeology and alternative history, right? So I met a few people that were also into Atlantis. Did you?
No, I spilled something, but go on.
Did you want to take a break and pick?
No, I'm not that type of guy. I got that problem solved already. I just gotta go down to the liquor store. No, it's joking.
What was your drink that you spilled for the audience? So we can live vicariously through you.
Know me. That was bourbon.
That was bourbon. Any particular bourbon we should know?
Yeah, the good stuff. It's holidays. It was Maker's Mark.
Okay.
And, I've had that, and now I have my beer, and I'm stupid because I shouldn't have done that.
Well, I wanted to ask you. I get it. I guess I would be doing the same thing. I have no drink here. I wanted to ask you. Did you meet some other people that were sort of interested in this Atlantis stuff? And did you share ideas?
Everybody. Okay. First of all, I felt like a celebrity in Scottsdale. I didn't see you there that last night. That last night party was awesome. I felt so good.
That was fun.
You were there, but I didn't see you out.
I was.
After they closed down the bar, people went back out near the conference center, and it was a blast. Let's just say that. I shouldn't say much more because you don't want to doss anybody.
You don't want to say who did what, but that was a lot of fun. Everybody was hanging out in the courtyard.
You were there.
There was definitely a.
Were you taking care of the guy that got sick?
I thought you weren't going to out anybody. No, I was not.
That wasn't you?
I was not.
Okay.
No, who was that?
Somebody got sick, and I went and got him water. And that was fun.
Maybe it was Fat Jesus that did that. Yeah. So did you talk to anybody? Did you share any ideas?
Well, I got William Henry's email, and I didn't get David.
Okay.
But so I got a little bit of entry into the ancient aliens, but that's not really my thing. I can show you a lot of ancient stuff that could have been ancient aliens mining Africa, in South Africa.
Yeah, because there was this other gentleman. Do you remember talking to the gentleman from LA himself? I think he had like a European accent, perhaps.
And by the way, I kind of feel like we were in touch, and I think he saw my main thing and he thought, oh, this guy's too out of it. He's too like a lot of people don't think I'm scientific.
Well, I think it was just you have an energy level that he wasn't matching, is what it was.
Well, no, I think he was down with that. And it was just
okay.
It was just well, maybe we both kind of
no, because I heard him say too he would like to talk again, but with a little bit more with me moderating.
I want to say
and with me moderating.
Now I forgot his name. I want to say Hank, but maybe Charles or Hank.
And then there was, of course, Eddie. Eddie did a presentation on Atlantis. Did you catch that?
We connected. Actually, I don't really like that. I mean, that goes with the first of all, if I do think he has the evidence, and I think that is signs of ancient civilizations underneath the water. I think that what he showed was, I think it was a little bit too highly pixelated, and I do also know Google Earth.
I tried to tell him. I said, you kind of have the same problem I have. I'm pointing out larvae in CT scans with less than 1 centimeter heads. And so I'm just showing people blurry pictures of 1 centimeter heads. And it's like, trust me, bro. And so his presentation was a lot like that. Like, here's a wall under the water. Here's a wall under the water.
And I just what Plato said either. Look, there was a global Atlantis, and call it pre-Atlantis. Plato's Atlantis was the end of Atlantis. Okay.
Sure.
And I really hate it when people say, I've read 17 different versions. No, it's one version. And you can read 17 translations all you want, but now we have AI. Look, the bottom line is Plato pointed to Cadiz. It went to the twin. He also mentioned diverse islands in the open sea, but the island of Atlantis was bigger than Libya and Asia combined. That's by definition of a continent. And he also said the Atlas Mountains in 3 different ways. And for people to ignore this, they're deflecting. The Plato Atlantis was there. And I believe that in my heart. I've been to the Pillars of Hercules. There's something you can see. Ancient seafarers could see those.
What about the theory? I also like the theory that there's Pillars of Hercules to the east.
I don't like that theory at all for 2 reasons. Number one, we know the ancient Greeks knew the Pillars of Hercules was the entrance to Atlantis. The concept of the pillars, the ones in Israel, are you talking about? Santorini?
No, even further, like Hindu Kush Pass.
Well, okay, there's probably, but you wouldn't want to call them Pillars of Hercules because Hercules is a Greek god. It's part of the Greek story. If there are indeed other pillars and they're attributed to a god like Hercules, maybe, and I don't disagree. Sometimes gods transfer over to different civilizations. They have different names. But the Hercules story was the Mediterranean Sea didn't connect to the Atlantic Ocean until Hercules came along and created that Strait of Gibraltar and left those pillars on each side as a monument to kind of celebrate that, creating the tallest waterfall in the world temporarily until Mediterranean Sea filled up. And I kind of think Mediterranean Sea was an ancient, what do you say, mine. So you have a strip mining, which is a pit. I think that the whole Sahara Desert was mined, and maybe the Mediterranean Sea was part of that. I ran into a guy working for the Minnesota mines, and he talked about overburden dumping and the fact that They literally don't even process that stuff. They just move it off the top. And I think that that's what was happening all over the Sahara Desert, pre-Atlantis, not even part of this Atlantis story Plato told before, because of what I found Google Earthing. Even in the
in about 5 minutes, we're going to invite Fat Jesus back. I just want to let him know if he's listening. So if he has any questions for you, and anybody else out there, if you have any questions, you can type them in the chat. Or if you want to come on the show, and I know
I'd like to promote my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com.
Let's do it. You want me to look it up?
Please, it's at Stig. And I got a bunch of stuff on there. But if you want a quick look at my stuff, go to the shorts. Watch my shorts, brah. No, watch my shorts. Watch them. And maybe the recent ones are a little clickbaity. But if you go back, you'll see a bunch on all these topics. All right. If you start to see repeats, just
I don't understand people saying clickbaity. It's like,
well, you might see
you're making good advertising.
Somebody was helping me, and they gave me a bunch of stuff that I uploaded. And even though
what's it called now?
Okay, at Stig. You can go to David Stig Hansen. It's actually youtube.com/David Stig Hansen. But
now
at Stig,
I noticed your resume is varied. You have several degrees. And also, I noticed you're also an artist, so you're a bit of a Renaissance man.
I'm a polymath. I'm a jack of all trades. I'm also a carpenter. I'm doing handyman work right now. I've been managing a project too. I used to teach project management. I got an MBA, but I regret school. I would never go back to college. I know. Are you a PhD?
No.
Well, but I taught university. And I don't have a PhD, so they called me a lecturer. Okay, so go to my and there you go. And I do upload very rarely. I do live streams. I'm trying to up my game on YouTube, and I do have shorts. And I have 12,000 subscribers. I used to be part of Taiwan.
I like your
okay,
AI
those
coverage.
AI thumbnails were created by vidIQ. Now down there, that's me. And I'd like to talk about so many things, but yeah, we don't have a lot of time.
No, we can come back again, or that'd be great. You can come back another time. Again, I'd like to have a couple of the other Atlantis guys on.
Ooh, who are we talking about?
Well, just Eddie for one.
Well, we're okay. We met and we talked, but I have to be honest, his presentation, I believe that might be an older part of that global empire.
A little bit of friendly debate would make for interesting content, I think. So
I don't like how he
I would help moderate to keep you in line. That's why Fat Jesus was in the hold, and I don't see him now. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Okay. Yeah, we'll be bringing him on in 2 minutes. So we got a couple minutes to wrap up, Stig. So what are your last plugs? What do you really think people should go see this at the YouTube channel? And we should at Stig Hansen. That's David Stig Hansen. Is that correct?
Yeah, like I said, the YouTube channel, go to just when you get to YouTube, search at with the little answer at thing at.
Go ahead and share this.
STIG. No, you don't have to.
Anybody else out there watching this? Feel free to.
I'm looking at the comments. That Jesus said, "Party animal." Is it the top comments the latest or the bottom? We trust you. We have
the bottom
messages from I can't comment.
Yeah, that was when you spilt your drink. I didn't share that one.
Well, that's all right. It's a shame though. I don't like to waste alcohol.
I understand.
But I had a busy day, and there's all sorts of stuff going on in my life, and yeah, it's hard to keep up on all this YouTube bullshit.
I usually buy a single malt for the holidays. I didn't get one this year.
Well, I'll be honest. I get
Lafroig.
Okay, so you're talking about whiskey.
Yeah, single malt Scotch.
Very peaty. I love Lafroig. Oh, actually, I do love it. People think it's kind of gross. I like peaty whiskey.
Well, good to know.
And
if I see you during winter again, I don't know if I want to drink it.
I speak Chinese, and I lived in Taiwan.
Yeah, and I want to learn Mandarin. Because look, I got right here one of my Hongshang pig dragons. It's like it's an important part of my tridactyl.
Let me just be honest with you.
My tridactyl.
Let me just be honest with you. I've been speaking Mandarin for 30 years. Yeah, I see it, and it looks like I've been speaking that for 30 years, and just get yourself a Chinese-speaking girlfriend.
Done. All right, let's bring on Javier on that note. That was a great note to leave it on. I love it. We got another guy here. Javier is going to ask some questions. Hopefully, they're not insane questions.
About
Ask
marrying
normal questions, for God's sake.
I have all these other channels I want to do. So
what's up, David? Hey,
hold on, wait, whoa, you're too bright.
my.
Your future's too bright, bro. Let me put these on. Hold on. There we go.
Yo, this is the man. This is the man that I had so much fun at the event in Scottsdale, Arizona. Without him, the event would have been dead boring. I'm telling you right now, David is the man to hang out with. I mean, if you guys want to party and enjoy a good time, listen to his stories, I mean, this is the guy. This is the guy to be with, because everybody else, I mean, they're okay. I mean, Billy Carson, he's interesting. He's fun he's very, very adequate. But this guy right here, oh my gosh, he'll take you through the loops, bro. I mean,
Billy Carson's a little dry around the beer keg.
Yeah. But I mean, I love everybody. But you know what? You made it where it was, I was able to swallow everything, take it easy, enjoy everybody. I mean, I enjoyed it. I was looking for that energy boost, and you were there to give it to me. And I thank you so much. Thank you.
I know, all because I don't even know why. We just started sharing.
I'll tell you what.
I'm frozen.
That be.
Can you guys hear me still?
Yeah, we still hear you. The
my
powers
camera's
that your camera looks frozen. The powers that be, they actually created. First of all, I got a free ticket, but then secondly, I was actually, through a friend of Jimmy Corsetti, got a free room for 3 nights right there in the Embassy Suites. Jason Austin, thank you for that. Not sure why he had that extra room laying around, but I was
okay.
It was awesome.
So, while I am off
I
camera,
definitely need to get your contact, because that's one of the things I missed out, man. I didn't get
chat me up
contact.
on my channel. Go to @Stig, my YouTube channel.
Yeah. I got it. I subscribe.
And choose any video.
This is why
nobody chats my channel. I don't have any subscribers.
No, you do.
Subscribe me.
You got a lot of people around the world. I mean, there's
all right, I'm gonna start controlling the mic here.
People around the world, man. You're gonna have tons of subscribers. It's just a matter of time.
I need more subscribers. That's for sure.
Yeah.
YouTube. I'm mad at YouTube.
Fat Jesus, do you have a question?
Yeah.
For our guest, let's stay on topic.
We got a party. Go on.
No, I mean, in Africa, just to help you out a little bit here, was not Africa underwater at some point? Like, it was part of the ocean?
I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think that helps my argument. I think that the Eye of Africa was right next to the Tamanrasset Paleo River, and there were ancient
Sahara Desert that we were looking at, right?
True, and up near between the Tamanrasset Mountain and the Atlas Mountains, there were ancient lakes, one called the Maghreb Sea. And that was, by the way, there could have been a cataclysm that broke that sea and had it flood everything.
Yeah,
that's honestly
what I was saying. Yeah.
Was it underwater? Was there isostatic rebound where, because the the ice caps in the mountains,
exactly what's happening today?
Did Africa rise? I'm not a proponent of that, and I don't know. I think that 12,000 years ago wasn't far back enough to see a big difference.
Well, my father always said that history repeats itself, so there's a possibility.
One ancient legend. When I was there, I talked to my host, and he told me that Tamanrasset Paleo River, there was the same time period, rose up just like isostatic rebound, and the river was dried and sealed. So maybe I'm wrong, and maybe that is one of the answers. I'm not gonna lie. I try to put all the so that's part of the local lore.
I mean, there's no time travelers in existence. I can tell. Everybody wants to claim to be a time traveler, but nobody was there to say, hey, we were there and we saw it. I don't think anybody would have survived that if there was a flood, because where you're gonna go? I mean,
well, if you look at my research, you see that I think that there was an impact right there at the Eye of the Sahara.
Wow, yeah.
El Guelb. I'll show you. I mean, later, we don't have a lot of time right now, but later, or take a look at most of my videos, and the thumbnails are self-descriptive, and it points right at the center. It's the impact that destroyed Atlantis theory of mine. Yeah. And
it could have been a very volatile time in Earth history. I mean, all over the Earth have been a problem. Maybe somewhere else on Earth too had problems too, like that.
I can show you everywhere in the Sahara there was activity going on with terraforming. I can show you in South Africa the same thing. And guess what? I can show you some really ancient stuff along the continental divide in North America and even South America. And I believe that there were giants on this planet years ago, way, 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 way pre-Atlantis, not even the same, maybe not even human. And if they were human, they were so advanced they had the big machines like we do now.
I'm not denying. I'm
Why do
not
you say
denying what you're
giants?
saying, because in the Egyptian cartographies and everything, they were saying that everything in the land was completely green and full of trees.
Oh yeah.
So there was
Why
no
does he say
desert there.
giants, Stig?
I say giants because some of the stuff I found is super big, and I don't see how humans could have done it. Even with, I mean, actually, our modern day machinery can.
So would that maybe make sense as part of the reason why we have trouble understanding these cyclopean walls and stones? They're so big to us, but perhaps there's
I'm
a
sorry.
larger
No, I've heard that
species.
before. What is cyclopean? That is
Cyclopean just means it's a term like ancient and big stonework.
What
Yeah.
about Shiprock, New
They
Mexico?
use it sometimes with
Where are you guys
talking
located
about,
right now?
I'm in Florida.
What about you, Javier?
Virginia,
Okay,
East Coast.
I'm in California, but I went through New Mexico and found, look at my picture, 2 parallel ridges that go 12 miles each. They're about 10 miles apart, and each one ends up in the mountains. And I just talked to a guy that says, yeah, slurry. Did you know that when they mine iron, they turn it into a river of slurry? And that slurry is used in damming. I can show you that in South Africa. I can show you that where they took this slurry. They created a slurry river that went up to 40 kilometers in South Africa, I believe. I can show it's big question marks down there. Lots of stuff, easy to find, and nobody talks about it. You might even say that.
So, Stig, you want to come back on the show sometime? Maybe
I guess every Sunday, right?
We can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
I mean, you're welcome to show
Now,
up every Sunday.
I
as
did
well.
want to mention that with the head binding, Childress wanted to ignore us at the table because we were bringing up tridactyls. And just like what you just said about Africa being underwater didn't help your cause, the tridactyls are not helping Childress' cause with the head binding, because now we have actual.
He does sell Terry's book, though.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
now you have.
Yeah, Terry Jamin's book is part of his publishing, and it's a very good book for tridactyl history.
Now
too.
you have tridactyls that don't need head binding. They didn't do any head binding. This is natural.
I brought it up to say I don't believe. My friend's a journalist friend of mine. He thinks that was head binding. He's like, and I was like, what are you talking about? You never realized that there's, like, the Egyptians weren't head binding, and in Peru you can see there's obvious non-head binding elongated skulls. I mean,
Yep.
You can't. You see the evidence, and by the way, just listen to Brian Forrester talk about it, right? The whatever happens to the skull in the back, the suturing or whatever, it's different. They weren't humans, and what's their name? Who were these people? By the way,
here's the other thing. You know how, I mean, this is anthropological. You know how we all wanted to be like Michael Jordan? Everybody in our society, we looked up to Michael Jordan like a god. So everybody dressed up like Michael Jordan. They bought his shoes. We played basketball like Michael Jordan. We had tried to do his jump emulation
We're just
of a
big
god.
Cargo
So
cult.
emulation.
No, right, cargo cult.
Head binding is an emulation to a great deity or a great being that was intelligent, that helped them, that maybe even came from Atlantis. Because these are one of the beings. We're not saying that these are the beings.
Right.
We're talking about a whole society of different beings. We're talking about the Sasquatches, these.
I think it's all related, and it's all related.
We're going to be finding all these bodies all over the world. The giants, they all had a part in building Atlantis.
Oh, by the way, you asked who
I
who
think
did I enjoy
we're the
meeting?
giants.
Hugh Newman
That's
and
true.
J.J.
That's another thing.
Ainsworth. Those guys were all over giants. Hugh Newman I have 2 books of his about giants. Hugh Newman and JJ, they're the Tepe masters. They know all about all the Gobekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe. Those are the guys that I was happy to meet. Of course, I like to meet. Go on.
No. The blow your mind.
That's why I mean,
The
okay, I'll
book-
tell you right now. I was mad at Randall Carlson in his whole live stream when he claimed that the Azores was the most obvious thing Plato wrote. No, Plato didn't say go straight out into the Atlantic. I already did a deep dive on that. Just
So
recently.
you don't think the Azores are part
Well,
of this?
wait a minute. Now, Plato said that the diverse islands in the open
Because-
sea were part of it. So no, the Azores. If you look at the names of the twins that Plato listed, one of them, not Atlas, and not his twin. They were the first two, but like the 8th or 9th or 10th, it was his name. It matches the Azores name. So maybe that king was in charge of that. Maybe I don't even want to say maybe. The Azores was definitely Atlantis, but for Randall Carlson to say that that's where the concentric circles were, the capital, that's being disingenuous, because Plato wrote the mountains were to the north, and he said very clearly King Atlas, and that the Atlantis, so Plato and Herodotus, the only mountains they knew about over in that whole area were the Atlas Mountains, and those were the ones I believe were the north. My argument is the Eye of the Sahara. Even if
I found a strange, it not really relates to it, what you're saying, but eels, for some reason, eels travel to that part of the world between the continents. They go back and forth breeding to that specific place. And it's just a very strange thing to have this cross-continental creature stopping in the Azores. So I can't help but think whatever the meaning is, I'm not sure at this point. There's something there, just oddly.
I trust that. Yeah.
Like I
But
said,
also you got to think about all the technology from back then. Where did it all end up? You know, you look at the pyramids in Giza, you look in the Indonesians, and then you look at Peru, or the pyramids there. You look at all these areas, and you could only imagine that the central part of what sank is going to be in the Atlantic Ocean. Like everything was destroyed. But
everything
if
on the
they
coast.
escape,
Well,
if they
gentlemen,
escape,
we do
they're
have to
going to
wrap
escape.
this up,
They're going to
so-
escape to the sides, right?
So,
well, let's be
Fat
honest.
Jesus,
The
do you have any
survivors
last-
of Atlantis were already in Egypt. If Plato wrote that Egypt was under the sway of Atlantis, and Tyrrhenia as well. So, of course, you're not going to be able to control and occupy a country without being there. When the cataclysm happened, the Atlanteans were already in Egypt to teach them how to build the pyramids.
But you know what? If you're so smart and so intelligent, not you, but them, if they're so smart, why couldn't they predict this future? And why didn't they prepare for it ahead of time? And then what was left over is what we have today. That's
Well,
the
those
question we
guys-
need to
Fat
ask
Jesus,
ourselves.
They were trying to
closing
enslave
words?
people. When you're trying to enslave
gonna let-
people, you're not being so smart. You're being dumb, in my opinion.
I'm giving Fat Jesus. I'm gonna any last seconds to promote or last words for the
Everybody,
audience.
this is Fat Jesus Live. Thank you so much for watching Tridactyls.com. This is Professor Ed Casas. David is amazing for being our guest for today. Hopefully we see him again. He is a very interesting guest, and hopefully he'll come back again. And we'll have some more people. Maybe we'll have the Brady Bunch going on. We'll have like 9 people on little 9 squares or something all at once. I don't know. But it will be fun to have a
Okay.
discussion on Atlantis and everything like that. But
Yeah, more. I think Atlantis, like I said, it's sort of the patriot homeland.
I don't
for
want
all
to just
this
show
is
you
the place.
Atlantis. I want to show you what I found all over the world.
I'm gonna let you go, Fat Jesus, and let's.
remember, Stig is a world traveler, so he has way more stories than you could.
I've been to
than
35
we
Thank you for
did.
coming,
countries.
Fat Jesus. Hopefully, I'll hear you on Wednesday on my X show. the
Oh
Green
yeah,
Room.
yeah, we'll
Thank you
be
for
there
coming.
on Wednesday.
Oh,
Okay.
you cut him, poor guy. No, look, I
have to cut you guys.
Look,
Both of you just keep
YouTube.com,
going.
At Stig, I've got years and years of videos. I took down all my old ones from Taiwan, and it's just the Atlantis, the ancient history. It's not just Atlantis story. It's the stuff I found all over the world on Google Earth. Check out the Facebook page to see it. Check out my videos. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate that. I'm going to let you go. Live long and prosper. I will say goodbye to the audience. Thank you all for watching. And again, yeah, the Green Room will be our next show, and that's only on X chat at 1 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays, where I also read from the Nilamata Purana. And that is the end of the